Hello, everyone. My name is Dan Coelho, and today we're going to be talking about creating a moment of truth, or how I like to call it, creating a wow moment. And the moment I came up with is called Missing Home, and it's meant to be an international guest experience within a Las Vegas resort restaurant setting. So, what is a wow moment, or what is the moment even? So, an international guest or anyone that's far from home comes into the restaurant, and when talking to the server, casually mentions that they're missing food from their home country, town, city, or you know, location or their culture. And an attentive staff member kind of understands this, communicates with the back of the house, and tries to create a surprise appetizer inspired by the guest's culture or country of origin. The dish should be presented with a handwritten welcome note or a handwritten note saying, "I hope you feel better," or "I hope you don't feel, homesick." Not those exact words, but those same ideas. Where does it happening? It can happen in any high-end hospitality location or restaurant, but for my examples, it's going to happen within a resort restaurant inside a Las Vegas hotel. And why does this matter? Why do we want to create a wow moment? It matters because it makes the guest feel cared about and seen. It creates emotional comfort, which is important later for the guest's needs. And it also turns an ordinary meal into a memorable meal and a memorable experience. Now, I said that it talks about the customer's needs, which is important when designing a wow moment because we have to talk about our guest perspective or guestology perspective. We want to think about what our guest expectations are. If a guest comes into a restaurant, their expectations could be that they just want normal restaurant service. They might not expect having a personalized dish brought out for them or having any sort of personalized attention. And this kind of goes in within their needs. A stated need when you walk to a restaurant is that you just want to enjoy dinner, or you just want to enjoy a meal, or you just want to have something that will fill you up and you have a nice time. But an unstated need could be that you want emotional connection. You want to kind of have an emotional connection with either the food you're eating or be with the people that you're seeing within the restaurant. And when you say something like, "Oh, I feel homesick," you're kind of expressing that unstated need. You're not coming into the restaurant because you feel homesick. You're coming into the restaurant because you want to feel some sense of comfort. And the way that we can elevate that is by kind of understanding and using service clues. So humanic clues could just be, being a good listener, having kind of warmth in your heart and kindness to try to provide a great service and moment. And as well, there's some clues that we can use in the restaurant to kind of make a customer enjoy what they're experiencing. We can have clean, nice presentation. We can have a friendly environment or atmosphere, and then some functional clues that kind of support what we do is having smooth communication. Smooth communication when you're talking to the guests, smooth communication when you're talking to the heart of the house or your fellow other servers. There's overall smooth communication within the restaurant. And also emotions. You really want to think about what our guests are feeling. If our guests are feeling homesick or a kind of a desire for comfort, we should really strive to fix those emotions or kind of remedy how they're feeling into a more positive way. And this kind of goes into the three S's. We really want to think about the strategy of the wow moment, which is kind of our game plan, what we're striving for, what we're heading for as a team. So we want to make the guests feel welcomed and valued. We want to deliver a personalized experience within this restaurant, and we want to create memorable experiences instead of just the routine experiences that you face within normal restaurants. With staffing, you kind of want to have staff that follows the strategy. You can have all the strategy, you can have all this planning, but you have to have people that seek out ways to implement this plan or continue this plan any way they can. And with staffing, you want them to be active listening. You want to have emotional intelligence within your servers. You kind of want some cultural sensitivity because you don't want to do something that's offensive when providing the surprise. But you also want to be able to allow your staff to be able to personalize guest experiences. You don't want to punish them for having ideas. You want to have them be self-starters. You want to give your staff everything they can to provide a great service. And communication is the best way you can do that. You want good communication between the servers in the kitchen, and you want good communication with the servers and the management. And this is where kind of systems come into place. Systems are helping our staff, supporting them when they're going through these strategies. Systems can be like communication between restaurant and kitchen staff via like technology or other communication services. Having flexible kitchen systems that can kind of have appetizers come out, before a meal. Like these kitchen systems could be helpful with timing and communication. And as well, you want management to support creativity. You want a way that you can be benefited from having a great creative idea and implementing a wow moment within a restaurant. And as well, you probably want, ingredients available for customization. You don't want such a strict inventory where you can't have anything not used for what you already planned. You kind of want to plan for the unplannable. And this is where we kind of talk about service blueprints. You want to have a service blueprint because it kind of is a way that you can visualize and kind of tweak what you have in place to kind of set up your moment of truth or your wow moment. And this kind of goes in a lot of things. So, as you can see at the bottom, we have support systems, which is what we were just talking about before. The three S's is our systems. Our backstage action and our onstage action is our staffing. And the physical evidence is what I would call our strategy, because this is kind of what we want to be able to be seen via the guest. So the physical evidence is kind of our strategy already put into existence. And this kind of is separated between before the guest arrives, which is pre-arrival, when the guest arrives, and then as well when the guest is there already experiencing, and then departure and evaluation. A departure is when they leave, and evaluation is kind of what we have left the guest with after the whole thing is said and done. So overall, we want, guest feedback. We want kind of an emotional memory, a positive emotional memory of the experience, and we kind of want to be able to reflect and be able to engage with this feedback and have the guest be not the guest, have the staff and the guest, I guess, feel appreciated with this experience. Emotional outcome. So why is this important? Why does this matter? We want to create long lasting memories. We want to build emotional loyalty. We want to encourage positive storytelling, because this is what other people and guests will hear about our restaurant. And we want to demonstrate true hospitality. The desired feelings that we're going for here is our guests feel welcomed, valued, and emotionally connected. When creating a wow moment, you really want your guests to feel wowed. You want them to feel valued, you want them to feel welcomed, and you want them to tell great stories to friends and families, so you can keep providing such great service to anyone and everyone. And that's all I have for you guys. So thank you for listening. Have a great day.